Hello, hello, and happy 2024, Libra. Welcome to your monthly reading. I'm Madeline, very excited to see you. Wow, the cards are excited too. And thus, we are going to jump right in. So, as always, Libra, we are going to pull a tarot spread to look at the story of your month, and we will cap off your reading by pulling a couple of cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck to get some direction from Spirit. And I invite you, Libra, as I shuffle your cards and say my prayer, I invite you to take a deep breath, maybe close your eyes, and set an intention to receive what feels like a personalized message during your reading. Maybe there's something going on in your life that's been on your mind or weighing on your heart, and you are looking for some guidance on that. I invite you to request that guidance and invite it in this moment. The Spirit, we want to see what you want to show to Libra people for their highest good in the month of January 2024, Spirit. How is Libra showing up? And what is showing up around them? What do you want to point out for Libra for their highest good in the month of January 2024? We want to bring forward, Spirit, what helps them know the truth for their highest good, that brings them toward contentment, fulfillment, joy, love, peace, security, and abundance. How can Libra make the most of January 2024? Their highest good. Perfect. Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Libra Rising, and Stellium People Spirit. What do they need to know? Woo! Well, that's one way to kick off a year. Wow. Revelations. I am hearing that so loud. Revelations, and in many cases, Libra, it's probably revelations around like, well, here's what I don't want. Well, here's what I am not bringing with me into 2024. Love to see it. Love to see it. Okay, let's talk Libra. Are you ready for it? Center of your reading, no bones about it, the Tower. Something collapsing, something coming to an unexpected end, a skin shed. Maybe even before you were ready. Maybe you're feeling a little bit raw as you head into 2024, or perhaps this Tower moment is coming in this month. Don't let that worry you. You know, as frightening as Tower moments can be, as much as we'd love to see a 10 of Cups in the center of your reading, readings are never meant to instill fear or worry in you. They are meant to offer you, like, basically to arm yourself, to prepare yourself for, if I should encounter a Tower moment, how can I best handle this? And one of the best ways you can handle it is to know that Tower moments are natural, that, they're giving me a quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, famous philosopher. You cannot to give birth to a dancing star, you must have chaos within you. You must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. Chaos, dancing star. Now, did Nietzsche know that the tower was number 16 and the star was number 17? Could Nietzsche have known that the tarot teaches us that the top has to get blown off of our tower at times so that we can remember and see the stars, so that we can trust guidance above like ruthless efficiency or like ambition, is kind of what I'm hearing. So chaos is natural. Towers, no, not so much. Like, we are the ones who build towers. That's what Spirit is saying. It's like we build a tower around, this is my relationship. And we build a whole tower around that relationship and around ourselves and around our life. And should that relationship falter, fall, end, whatever, of course it feels like our life is tumbling down because we have built our tower on this thing that is not steady, that is not eternal, that is not forever, that changes. So Spirit is saying, like, you don't build your home on top of the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit it ain't gonna work. So the tower blows up, it disillusions, it disenchants, it sets you free from rigid walls and expectations that weren't doing anything to help you grow. That's the other thing about the tower, is that shit was unsustainable. So whether it's like I'm working myself too hard and then I have an injury or what have you, that can be like a tower moment. Or I'm not paying attention, I'm not paying attention, I'm not paying attention. And what started as a gentle tap on my door of like, I don't think this person is very nice, and then turns into a knock and then a pound and then a fucking battery ram, that's a tower. So, Libra, if you have an inkling, when you saw that tower card, or when you're hearing me talk about it, there's something that's like, could this be my tower? Is it this job that I feel is really shaky? Or is it this relationship? Or is it this whatever that I feel is a little bit like not on solid ground? Here is your opportunity to either perhaps seek an emergency exit or go and see if there's anything that you can do now to answer the pound rather than wait for the battering ram. Then go ahead and do that. Now, if your tower has already fallen, again, the crowning card, top of your reading, everyone can see, hope springs eternal. The star is vulnerable. She's naked. The same way that I talked about, the tower is like shedding a skin, and sometimes it's before we're ready. And it's like normally a skin sheds a little at a time, like peeling after a sunburn. But this is like the universe going, shrip, you're done with all of that right now. And that leaves you very vulnerable. And being vulnerable can be scary unless you don't think of being vulnerable as being weak. If you recognize the strength that is present in vulnerability, and you recognize that now you're actually available and sensitized to notice other things around you, new things, better things, new adventures, all of which I'm seeing here, can come into your life. So before we go into the future, let's stay right here in the present, sitting in the position representing where you find yourself. Four of Cups. This is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Moon in Cancer card. All tarot cards have like astrological correspondences, and I'm pretty sure this one is Moon in Cancer. So it's a little bit sulky, it's a little bit moody, it's a little bit like, no, not that one. I wanted these old bullshit cups that I used to have that weren't even really making me happy. I don't want this new blessing. No. Where is this? Where is this? Where's my tower? I want to build my tower back up. I want to stack these three empty cups on top of each other and try to make that my whole world. When meanwhile, the universe is like, hey, we have this new thing for you. Please look up. Please look up. These are empty. These are full. Like, please look up. So sulky, a little stuck, a little, mine's not like that. Why isn't mine like that? A little bit like that, and no blame, no shame, no judgment. We all have been there. And we don't want to stay there. That can be, Spirit is using the word defensive. And that can, that emotional withdrawal can be like a very Cancerian defense. I'm going to pull back into my shell. Fuck you, you hurt my feelings. I'm going to pull back into my shell. Fuck you, you blew up at me. I'm going to pull back into my shell. That's how I'm going to, get back at you. When Spirit is like, maybe we should leave the shell. Maybe the shell is the tower. For some of you, these are general readings, of course, Cancer. If you ever want a personal reading, you can do that in the little box below. But in these readings, I'm getting a lot of different messages for a lot of different Cancerian people. Trust your own strong intuition above all. Are you the Cancer who is retreating into your shell, which is your safe space? Or are you retreating into your shell, which is keeping you from growing? Spirit is talking about, like a hermit crab has to leave its shell because it grows and grows and grows. And it's like, oh, I made this my home, but now I have to enter this vulnerable state where the universe comes and tells me you've outgrown this shell, shrip. And now I'm in this vulnerable, naked state between now and the time that I find my next place, my next tower, right? But we're not going to make it a tower. Crossing your tower card is the card of building something that is created to last. Three of Pentacles is a wonderful card of cultivation, collaboration, great minds put together, making something that could not have been created on your own. So who are you working with? I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing some of you might be working with siblings. I'm hearing some of you might be bringing in like a partner. It's like, let's do this podcast together, or let's start this baking company, or whatever. You have the option to get a little vulnerable, and to, in that vulnerable state, like, this is what Spirit is saying. When we are locked up in towers, there is, despite how constricting that can be, there's a relative safety to it. I'm in this relationship and I'm like, yeah, I feel a little stuck here. Yeah, I'm, a little bit bored and a little bit moody, but at least it's mine, right? Or like, but at least it's safe in here and it can feel like safety. But it isn't safety, it's constriction. Now Spirit is reminding me, where are my elder millennials, my geriatrics, my Gen X is at? They're reminding me of the movie Labyrinth. And when Jareth, when the Goblin King temporarily has her kept in this fantasy. And in this fantasy, it's like she's surrounded by all these objects. It's like, oh, don't you love these objects? Don't you want all these objects? And it almost distracts her away from her actual ultimate mission, which is to save her baby brother. It's like he almost distracts her with fantasies enough that she would lose herself. That's what Spirit is saying about you, Cancer. Don't stay stuck in your tower because it's like a beautiful fantasy. What is outside of your beautiful fantasy is actually much more beautiful. This is something real. And you can build this, you can have this, you can cultivate this. This is growing your skills. This is an early milestone that indicates if you want to, you can take this all the way. If you want to keep going, you can build this all the way up to the 10 of Pentacles, right? Sitting in the basement of your reading, underneath that tower, and connected to the star, judgment, revelation, wake up call. Oh my God, I see, and I can't unsee. And that's something that Spirit is saying. So some of you, this is what they're showing me, right? Is like, for some of you, that tower is going to be something like, oh, this message flashed up on their phone, or this person came up in their friends' messages or whatever the fuck, and it was like, oh, you're cheating on me, or oh, you're doing this behind my back, or oh, whatever it feels like for some of you. And that is not for all of you. If it doesn't resonate, if it doesn't seem likely, then it's not for you. This is for some other Cancer that is listening to this, okay? But for some of you, it feels like that, where it's like my illusion gets shattered. I get this wake up call, this thing that I can't unsee or unhear happens, and I am forced to go on a new adventure, move in a new direction, take what I do have and double it. Take what I do have and double it by being loose, easy, playing with ideas, playing with resources, gently moving money and time and habits around to see what works. And as I do that, new options, jobs, courses become available to me. New paths open up, but you have to open up first. That's what Spirit is saying. So Page of Pentacles has a beginner's mind. Page of Pentacles is open. Page of Pentacles is enthusiastic. What can we make with this, right? And lest we forget, 3 Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles. Is there anybody who leaps to your mind, Cancer, is this is somebody that I would want to work with? And I think that if we put our 2 coins or our 2 heads or our 2 ideas together, they could multiply infinitely, as indicated by this subtle infinity symbol that he's dancing with. It's a little unconventional. Maybe we can build a whole new way of living. So, as I said, 3 of Wands following, and these are all sitting in your future. I did not pull any clarifying cards. This is what Spirit wanted there. So, an adventure that brings peace and that brings, importantly, harmony. Temperance is often shown having 1 white wing and 1 black wing, because it's all about the you must have chaos within you to give birth to a dancing star. Both have to be present. So the tower and the star all wrapped up together. Your darkness does not prevent your light. Your darkness, right, gives dimension to your light, and your light shows where you have dark places. And when you don't demonize either one of those things, and you actually work to like honor and incorporate them both and put them like, it's like where they belong, you know? Like, of course, my shadow isn't at the helm, but I keep my shadow right here in the passenger seat so I can always see what they're doing. If they're trying to mess with the radio or whatever, I want to know about it. You know what I'm talking about? Integration. Integration. That's the word that Spirit is using really strongly. Bringing together high and low, bringing together light and dark, bringing together you and me. Sitting in the position representing your hopes and your fears, Queen of Swords, I see you making calls, like calling shots and being like, well, if this tower is going to blow up in my face, then these are the new rules. The new rules that are going to make me happy, to lead to my contentment, my emotional fulfillment. 9 of Cups, my wishes coming true, sitting in the position of the conclusion and key to your reading. Cancer, Spirit is saying, don't put the cart before the horse. What do you wish for? What do you wish for in 2024? That's the horse. What do you wish? What would make you feel so deeply fulfilled and content and happy with yourself? And what falsehoods and unsustainable um, relationships or attitudes or circumstances have to blow up or disintegrate in order for you to integrate? Whoop, Spirit be funny. Okay, let's pull a couple cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. Get a little more clarity, Spirit, for Cancer. Did I just say Cancer? Libra. Libra, what the fuck? Okay. All right. So, Spirit. Any of y'all know a Cancer? Just curious. Okay. So, Spirit, for Libra. Swear to God, we know who we're talking to. For Libra people, Spirit. What do they need to know? Woo! Those cards fell right out. Wow. Perception, the moon, and Aries. Act, perceive, reflect, emotionally connect, and then take action. Reflection, and then action. And fierce. Fierce like an Aries, fierce like a Queen of Swords. With clear perception, I can take clear action. That's what Spirit is saying. And we love to hear it. Aries is your opposite a little bit, right? Aries is like me, and you're more of a us. So time to be a little bit me, Libra. Time to be a little bit selfish. Shellfish? Okay. All right. Thank you for being here. I truly hope that this is helpful for you. And if I don't see you before then I hope I will see you in next week's reading. Bye-bye.